Guys, so this is a comparison review, and I just wanted to let you know that I was contacted by a company called Folica.com, and I'm sure you're very familiar with it. And like you, I have ordered, well, I'm just assuming because I think everyone's sort of ordered from this site, but you know, totally 100% reputable company. I have ordered from them prior to me ever doing a YouTube video, and in fact, I was actually just on the Rachel Zoe website, and she actually did a little write-up about Folica as well. So when they contacted me, I was actually really excited because it's one of these companies where it's one of the rare times that I've actually added a link to my videos. Actually probably one of the first or second hair videos, so like way back. And I don't tend to do that, as you guys know. I don't tend to put links on very many of my videos unless I know for sure that I've experienced good customer service and that the prices are good, or it's just some place that I've actually ordered from enough and can actually feel good about adding the links. So so they contacted me to see whether or not I wanted to do a review on their products, and of course I said absolutely, of course. And I will let you know that they were gracious enough to say that they wanted to do something for you guys without me prompting them at all, because I don't know if you watched another one of the videos, but I do promise that each time a company contacts me, I'm always going to ask them what they can do for you. And with Folica, I really even didn't need to do that at all. Which was an added bonus, and I'll speak about that later with the giveaway and all that sort of stuff too. So on with the review first, and it is, like the title said, it's a comparison between Ionic and conventional. Now, in one of my older videos, I had mentioned that I have been using a professional blow dryer for quite a few years. I had a friend of mine who owned a salon that ordered it for me, so I probably paid about $150 at cost. So I don't know how much this would retail for. Maybe in the high twos, or maybe even higher. I'm really not sure. I do know that salon owners do get a great deal on products. And the whole reason being is that I knew that it was going to be an investment. I knew it was going to last for years and years, and I just really, my hair is so thick, it takes forever to dry. And of course my debacle with that other hair dryer where I picked off all what I thought was lint, but it was actually the filter, so it only blew cold air for like 8 years, so it would take like half an hour, 40 minutes for me to dry my, oh anyways, it's all in a previous video. So anyways, I did want to go into a professional dryer that had a lot of power, so I could cut down on the heat and cut down on the drying time, and I just didn't have the patience to just use cold air, which is really the best thing for your hair. I can really attest to that. But who has that kind of time? I mean, really, and especially at this length and longer, it just takes frickin' forever. So I've had this for quite a long time, and it's a very sturdy, it has a super, I mean, it just goes on forever and ever and ever. And by the way, they do say that with these types of dryers, you constantly have to make sure the cord is not all jumbled, because there's so much power going through it, it can be a fire hazard. So, you know, with this, it really would take about 5 or 6 minutes to dry this length hair. Add in another, you know, minute or so per inch. So really fast. And it blew hot, really hot, which is why it didn't take very long at all. And but you know what, as I'm getting older, you're losing all of your essential oils. There's a lot of moisture loss with your skin, with your hair, with your nails, with a lot of stuff. And I was starting to notice that, you know, it was just my hair, I never had to worry about it before. I never did anything to it. It always looked relatively good, relatively healthy. But throughout the years, in the last, you know, 5-6 years, it really has been looking a little bit drier. I had to switch to Ojon, which is the only thing that really works for my hair. And I think this might have been a bit of a culprit because it is so hot. And you know, it's one thing for salon use because people go to the salon. I actually don't go to a salon, but people do go to a salon once every 3 months, maybe 2 months, somewhere in there, from the 2 to 4 or 5 month range. And so to, you know, to have that kind of heat blasted every once in a while is totally fine, but for every single day use, I mean, professional stylists are not styling your hair every single day. And I was sort of noticing it getting a little bit dry, so it's this and age, all that sort of stuff. So I was really looking for this whole new technology that I know works with my flat iron, which I actually also got from Folica many moons ago, a fantastic to-do one. And so I did a little bit of research, and I decided to pick out the SuperSolano. This one here, it's so pretty. Honestly, when I got it out of the box, I was like, oh, it's just so shiny and pretty. I would say it weighs a little bit more than this one, and these are heavier. So this is kind of a heavier apparatus, although I don't find it to be, you know, a pain. It's not like, oh my God, I can't hold this up. But it definitely is hefty and has a bit of weight to it. The whole thing with Ionic technology is that it is supposed to really sort of protect your hair from heat, faster drying time. There's little ions that sort of bind to your hair, the moisture, and it breaks it up into little particles. And it sort of seals in that moisture into your hair shaft. So instead of it with the heat getting sort of frayed, it kind of keeps it really, really smooth. This one in particular, the reason why I picked this one out was when I had done the research, number one, I think this was voted the last 3 years in InStyle's best tools. So, and it was sort of an industry standard. I'd actually never heard of it beforehand, but you know, 3 years running as the best sort of dryer kind of sealed the deal. And it also had, it was sort of 3-in-1. It's like Ionic, tourmaline, and this sort of silver nano technology, which, I mean, there's so many different technologies, but it basically had an antibacterial property, which, hello, you know, as I've said before, I have an illness, and, you know, I'm a total crazy OCD, neat freak, clean freak. It's really bad. You know, if I see something tilted, I always have to put it at right angles. It's really, you know, it's like I said, it's bordering on an illness. So the whole antibacterial thing, I was like, ooh, wow, that's really good. So not only is it antibacterial in the dryer itself, it's supposed to be antibacterial on your head. I don't really know how that works, but I was like, wow, okay. Because as you all know, well, not all of you, but, you know, I've been doing this whole not washing it every single day. And I think anything that sort of helps with bacteria on the scalp and everything, it's going to be a good thing because it keeps your scalp cleaner and healthier. And, you know, although now it's taken me about 6 months and I don't feel so greasy and smelly. It's actually not bad at all. So those were sort of the reasons why I picked this particular model, and I have to say the first time I used it, I really noticed a difference, but it may be because, you know, it's like with anything, when you switch shampoos, you switch skincare, things like that, you know, you're not sort of acclimatized to it and it's all brand new, so it kind of gives you a different effect. And I've been using it for about 10 days now, so, you know, I don't know if that's going to last in perpetuity, but I definitely noticed the difference. Now, what I will say is, does this dry, I mean, these things are supposed to cut down on the dry time. So it's supposed to be sort of healthier and faster for you to dry your hair. I'm thinking maybe with a conventional sort of everyday hair dryer, that may be the case, but when you put it up against a professional salon dryer, this dried my hair faster. So I would say that that's sort of erroneous in these two comparisons. But you're getting healthier hair. Now, did it take way longer? No, I would say that it's probably an extra 3 or 4 minutes. But, you know, when you're looking at the entire dry time taking about 5 or 6 minutes with this, adding another 4 minutes with this. So now it goes from like 5 or 6 to like 10 minutes, around there. So, which is still not bad. Obviously 10 minutes isn't too long. So this one definitely dried it faster, but I think the amount of heat that comes out of this is so insane. it's just going to dry anything. Like it's just going to, I mean, I could probably dry clothes with this. That's how hot it is. I don't even need to pop it into a dryer. I could just like do this and it would dry. It's crazy heat. The other thing, the difference is, what I did like about this and preferred is that it actually had different heat. So it goes 0, then like it's cold, and then it's warm, and then it's hot. And then it also had 3 different sort of power levels. So you could really kind of control it, whereas this had, it also did sort of 2, because it was an off switch, and then 1 or 2, but this went from cold to like regular to like crazy heat, which I've never used. I've never used it on that setting at all. It was just too crazy. I would burn my scalp. That's how hot it got. Whereas this, I can use it on the highest for the first little bit of it, and then I can lower it to the mid, and I can get, you know, more and more power. So I did like the sort of variables. I could control that a little bit more. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is the hot shot button. I have to say it's, I don't know, it's so circular, and it really kind of irritates my finger. I can really feel it. It's like pressing down on a hard nub, and that's not comfy at all. This one had this here, so very flat and flush to it. But again, I only use this if I was ever doing sort of round brushing, which I don't tend to do very often, so that's not really a big deal. Usually I don't do anything but, you know, just kind of do this with my fingers, and well, yucks, that's a pretty scary demo. Remind me never to do hair demos. So, you know, it's just one of these sorts of things. I don't know if you can tell, but my hair definitely felt softer, and there was a bouncing and behaving kind of thing going on. I don't know about you, but when I walk out of a salon and they've done this whole shebangy, when I walk out, it like bounces. There's a lot of body to it. I noticed that with this, and I didn't do any of that stuff. I just literally dried it, put my head upside down. My hair has no product in it at all. Not gel, hairspray, finishing, nothing. It's a completely naked, clean hair. So that's sort of the effect. I did notice it also texturized it. I don't know what the heck this technology is, but it did texturize it. That's not even a word. I don't know what that is. And the good thing about this, funny enough, your hair, my hair, looked better the second day, because then all the pieces really got really piecey, where you could really see it, whereas right now you can kind of see a bit of it, but it's kind of one lump. Oh, well, maybe you can see a little bit. But on the next day, maybe because the antibacterial, my hair actually felt quite clean. And because it's been 6 months, so my scalp's kind of acclimatized to washing it every other day instead of every day. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, thumbs up. There's a little thing, you know, I'm not crazy about this, that whole thing. It does take a little bit longer to dry my hair, but that's really, honestly, to have it healthier and shinier is much better for me. And, you know, the whole antibacterial thing is really, really good too. It does have a very, very long cord as well. Same with the other one. Now I've got them all tangled. Okay, hello. Right, here we go. It has a humongousaurus pluggy. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about that either, but what are you going to do, right? The other one had just a regular conventional, where the heck is the do? So it went from this to that. So, yeah. Okay, so on to the good stuff for you guys. Woo! It's hot. Really, really hot. Sorry for this video being a little bit longer than usual. Okay, so, as I said, when they contacted me, they said, you know, they'd like to do something great for my viewers, which I just thought was the bomb, right? Right away. Customer service is so important, and the fact that they said that without me prompting them or asking them was really, really cool. Although I did kind of remind them a little bit down the road to go, hey, by the way, remember when you said? And they were so gracious. They absolutely remembered. And so what they've done is they've given me one for you guys as a giveaway, which honestly, whoever wins this is going to be so freaking happy. It's so pretty. I mean, it's so glossy and shiny. I don't think the camera is is quite picking that up. And you know, it's actually kind of mental for me to say that, because you're obviously not buying a hairdryer to look at it. I mean, that's not the point of it, it's how it works. So, but it was just very, very glossy and shiny and pretty. So, you really don't have to do anything but leave a comment. Now, I heard, I think it was Lana's video or somebody, where if you just write enter me, everything will be looked at as spam and you won't be able to do the count. So I really hope that you just put any comment. Any comment will enter you in the giveaway. It doesn't have to be long and fancy schmancy or any of that. Just don't do enter me. You know, I can't, because it'll just, I think she was saying that she'd have to start the contest all over again, and who wants to do that? So just leave a comment, that's enough. I am going to ask that it's just one entry, just to make it fair for everybody. And I am going to see whether or not you've entered more than once, and that's automatically going to DQ you. So, you know, obviously I know that, you know, you really want to win things, but let's try and keep it fair for those who, you know, are out working 10 hours, 8 hours a day and don't have the time to, you know, like enter 5 bazillion times. So just the one time. And I'm not going to have it go too long. I'm not going to really set a date, but once it starts dwindling, you know, the contest will be over. Really, honestly, probably only like a week maximum, maybe even earlier. And you obviously have to be a subscriber. So I think that's about it. Subscriber, enter only once. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and I will also let you know that they did create a link for me to add into the below bar. And I think as sort of, you know, they were kind of mentioning of partnering up with Folica. I don't know if it kind of shows how many hits go from this site to that. So I'm not really sure what the heck doohickey, whether or not they want to do any more sort of, or ask me to do any other reviews. I'm assuming this may just be a one-off. But they did add a link for me to add on there. And I don't know if it has to do with clicks or if it has to do with purchases. I'm really not up on that, but I believe there is a percentage that goes to me. It's very, very nominal. I think it was 6%, maybe 8%. I'm not too sure. And I'm going to add that now. The only thing is if that makes you guys really, really uncomfortable, if you think it kind of doesn't lend credence or there's a biasness, which I guess I totally understand from an outside perspective, but of course I'm me, so I know exactly how I feel and what I feel about the products and the company, obviously. But if that makes you really, really uncomfortable, and I get enough people saying, hey man, you know, that's not cool, yada, 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 not to say that I'm dictated by other people's reactions, because it's not really the way I live my life, but, you know, I'm kind of new to this whole thing. So if that's the case, if it's overwhelming, or if, you know, I'll just take the link down. I mean, it's not really, really that big a deal. So, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what's going on every step of the way. And so yeah, good luck to everyone. Honestly, I think this retails for maybe $126. I can't really remember. It definitely is less than this one that I got my friend to get for me. But it's still, you know, a little bit pricey, but I think that, you know, like all of these kinds of professional dryers, they are supposed to last you a lifetime, at least, you know, 20 years or so. And this, again, was voted the best dryer slash hair tool in InStyle 3 years running. So it is reputable. I believe this is a pretty good company. It's made in Italy. And if there's any other questions that you guys have, please feel free to leave a comment. I will also consider that to be your entry. Although, you know what, I'm going to say this ahead of time. I'm not going to be able to respond to any of the comments, just because I don't want it to skew the giveaway. So, but I will read all of them. I will get them all, but just know that for this particular video, I will not be replying to anyone, unfortunately. So, holy cow, almost 20 minutes. Okay, so thanks so much, guys, and good luck.